Thank you very much, Bade. A very warm welcome, good afternoon from St James's Park. What a wonderful place this is. Fantastic to be back in Newcastle. It's got a special place for all of us in Sky Sports Boxing. And wow, it was really rocking when Savannah Marshall headlined last time out in October. It was a magnificent night. We are delighted to be back again, and Ben, thank you for bringing us back here. Such a great card and some fantastic main events and some wonderful fighters as well to get going with in this area.
Yeah, 100%. When we were here last time in Newcastle, it was incredible. I think that really was a breakthrough moment for Savannah as well. Up until then, perhaps she hadn't headlined shows before, and this time I've not had one question around Savannah Marshall headlining a show in Newcastle. It isn't just Newcastle fighters on the card, which I think shows the strength of Savannah's name as well, how well this has sold. People will be surprised now at the sort of crowd Savannah Marshall attracts, but to be back in Newcastle along this journey that we're going on with Savannah, the road to undisputed, I think we're in for a big night on Saturday, and I think we've got a great card as well.
Tickets have flown out, of course. It's a big defence for her against Femke Hermans, former world champion herself, but of course all eyes too on a certain Clarissa Shields, who will be ringside on Saturday night, and it's got everybody talking, hasn't it? It's a mouth-watering possibility of a unification.
It's a huge fight. It's the first fight we wanted to make. It's the first fight we've been looking forward to for 6, 8, 10 months. We thought maybe it would come sooner. Savannah has to deal with mandatories, as did Clarissa. Clarissa will be here on the weekend, and that's the fight we all want. But Femke Hermans has been a world champion herself. She's fought at the top level for a long time. She took Clarissa the distance, so this is a chance for Savannah to put down a marker, to do something that Clarissa couldn't once again. And then we get into perhaps the biggest fight in the sport. But as I say, we can't look beyond that. Fingers crossed for Savannah on Saturday night. But this is a tough test.
Certainly can't look beyond anything in boxing. Fantastic fighters up here on the dais. I'm going to start with a really interesting fight. We welcome Brad Ray back from Manchester, who's been fantastic so far in the Boxer Sky partnership, coming off a stunning one-rounder demolition of Craig McCarthy on the big Khan Brook show. He fights Lucas Ndafaluma. We welcome you, Lucas, from Namibia. Some of you might remember he came over before and upset Craig Cunningham. Also, that was in Manchester. So, Lucas, welcome back. You are the demolisher, and you've come to really test Brad Ray, haven't you?
Yeah, thank you very much. I feel honored and great to be here, to be back again in the UK. Beautiful country, good people. I thank you very much, and I'm looking forward for the fight this Saturday. This Brendan is a good kid, and you know, all I can say to him is that he got something special because he's from Manchester. Manchester is the city that I came first here when I came to the UK. I came here for a mission to take over the middleweight division in the UK. And my journey, what I started I did not finish it. So this is a process. So Bradley will be the next victim, and this is my hunting ground, usual hunting ground. You know, I'm gonna go back to victory. So because I know experience is where I know I'll win.
Yes, 120 of 25. You will be the next victim, Bradley Reynolds. Managed that so far, undefeated as a professional, and beginning to roll now, aren't you? You're too tall, aren't you?
I know. Yeah, really getting there now. Obviously, trying to stay as active as possible. Only a couple of weeks ago I was on the Carnbrook undercard, and you know, straight away I was on to my manager Steve Wood. I was in Ben's ear, you know, I'm ready to go again, what have you got for me? And you know, when this date come up, I jumped at it, ready to go. Obviously another step up in opposition for me this, you know, Lucas is a good fighter, experienced, done the rounds, boxed at a good level, like you said, he's been over here before and upset the odds, but you know, that won't be happening on Saturday night.
Stunning, fantastic sort of demolition of Craig McCarthy. It was all over before it began, and probably one of the knockouts it will be of 2022. But you also gave us a real barn burner, didn't you, with Jez Smith last time in Newcastle? You quite like it up here, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back. Hopefully Saturday night, I won't be coming out black and blue like last time, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a great crowd, and I like coming up here. Yeah.
Ben, it's been a quite steady process with Brad Ray, but he's really burst onto the scene. Ricky Hatton keeps saying, you've got to be talking about this guy. He's one of the hottest hopes in the country.
Yeah, this is what it's about for us. I think a lot of obvious names we're expected to sign, and Bradley perhaps wasn't one of them at the time. And he's so young, he's 23 years old, and we're just keeping as active as possible. All fighters at that age need activity, but they also need tough fights where they're going to learn, and he's taken it one after the other. And believe me, this is a tough fight. This is a guy that's had double the amounts of fights that he's had, that's knocked out half of his opponents, that's caused upsets before, and he's going to present a different test to Bradley. He's bringing experience as well, but yeah, as you say, we have high hopes for Bradley. He's dealt with everything so far, and there's a lot of fighters in the UK that are avoiding him, which has meant we've had to go further afield. He wants to test, and I expect him to have a very, very successful career.
Final line, Brad, he comes with confidence too. He's saying you're going to be the next victim on the list. He's going to go back to Namibia with that scalp. What's your response?
Yeah, I'm ready to fight, and that's not happening. Not a chance. I'm no Craig Cunningham. I'll be sending it back in.
Thanks very much, Brad Ray. Next to Brad is a young fighter, still just 24, and someone we've got real high hopes for. He's a really good guy as well. He's been waiting patiently. He was going to be on the card at Wembley last week. Now he's here in Newcastle. Zach Chelly, the name. Zach, in with another guy who's got a great opportunity here in Jack Kilgannon. A couple of changes of opponents as what happens in boxing, and I think, Jack, you got the call yesterday afternoon. You've been training, you were ready to take another fight. You've won a Central Area Championship, you're undefeated, and now you get the chance of gate crashing the big stage here in Newcastle. Did you jump at it?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank Sky Sports for getting me on. Took the fight last night at 6:30. I was supposed to fight on Saturday night in Wigan, and then I got this phone call, so which one would I rather do? Fight on Sky Sports.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. You were a good amateur from the Oldham area, undefeated as a pro. What do you think you can bring that Zach Chelly hasn't seen before? Obviously, an unbeaten fighter's a dangerous fighter.
Yeah, just my skill set. Like I said, when I got the phone call and it was Zach Chelly, yeah, I'd jump it straight away. It's the weight above my weight, but it's risks and it's opportunities, and I'm going to grab it with two hands.
And that's right, and sometimes these opportunities pay off. I mentioned to you earlier about Steve Robinson, the Cinderella man, coming in at 48 hours notice, winning a world title. So you've got to take these chances in boxing, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm 26. When I won the Central Area, COVID happened, and it didn't work out then. So kept going back to the drawing board. This time I've been in camp really, but it's just a better opponent and on a bigger stage.
Fantastic to have you with us, and big credit to Jack. I'm sure Zach Chelly's really pleased about that, because you've had your frustrations, Zach, during lockdown. We know you've helped out in the schools, being a teacher as well, and yeah, you've got to do something for the family, and when the boxing's not happening, but now you're back, and I bet you just cannot wait. You're chomping at the bit to get in the ring.
I can't wait. It feels like just yesterday I was in a press conference, but now I'm back here again. Hopefully at the end of this press conference on Saturday there will be a fight, and I'm really happy Jack's here. I think like 5 or 6 different people pulled out. I've had people at my school tell me, "Oh, I didn't get to see you last week, Zach." I was like, "Yeah, because I didn't fight." But hopefully this Saturday I'll be fighting. I wasn't meant to go back to school for the past week, but I actually ended up working Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, so I was there working yesterday, and they were all shocked to see me because I was telling everyone, it's my last day. But yeah, I had to be back in school, and yeah, but they're all happy they're going to be watching this Saturday, and I can't wait for it.
The kids are ready. They'll be staying up a little bit later than usual. You're ready. You're virtually unbeaten, aren't you? You had that fight that we commentated on in the Matchroom Garden against Jack Cullen. Very unlucky there not to come out with anything. You won the BOXXER tournament. You've got some real potential, haven't you, in this business?
Yeah, as a super middleweight, I am unbeaten, and I tend to keep it that way. I'm looking forward to see what Jax has. He's a good boxer from Central Area title, and yeah, he come forward fighter, so it'll be exciting on Saturday night.
Do you think it'd be a really good mix of styles because he brings that undefeated record? He's got nothing to lose. It's coming for you.
He's going to give it all, isn't he? It's a great opportunity for him as well. He wins this, he's gone to big things, but unfortunately, Jack, I'm going to be winning. Of course, we're shaking hands, we're taking pictures together. It's all business, dress for business, but when it comes in the ring, it's personal, and he knows that.
Ben, well done to the team and yourself for making this match. You've made Jack's dream come true. You've got Zach a fight. He is going to be in the ring on Saturday. You've got high hopes for him, haven't you?
Yeah, it's difficult with Zach. I mean, as he said there, we've gone through a few opponents. Diogo Costa was supposed to be the fight, which was a great fight. It was going to be at super middle. Then it looked as though it was going to be like heavyweight, and I think Zach would have still taken the fight, but we had to send the scales round to the gym yesterday in a check weight. He was no way near. He wasn't going to make weight, and in the end, Jack Kilgannon, an unbeaten kid with Steve Wood, who has a lot of potential as well, and someone that really wants to take this opportunity. And so to take this on 2 days' notice, Zach and Jack, it's a credit to both of them, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure unbeaten kids are getting in the ring against each other and are having it. And Jack knows that this won't be his last opportunity for taking a fight. Zach knows that it won't, and that's what we want to encourage on these cards. And I think you'll start to see that on all the Sky Sports cards with guys that are just putting it all on the line and then know that they're going to get that opportunity again. Too much fighters believe if they lose that they're going to lose their career, and we need to make sure that we give them the confidence to take these fights.
Totally agree with you. Good to have April Hunter back on the bill after her defeat. I'm sure she'll come again. That's what it's all about. Looking down there at my friend Johnny Nelson, lost his first 3 pro fights, and look, he ended up reigning as a world champion for 7.5 years. Things can happen in boxing. Well done for taking this opportunity, Jack, and we're looking forward to that fight. A mouth-watering chief support. It's a really, really good fight. When Ben told me it was made, I was so pleased. You can't pick a winner. It's experience against somebody who's got so much character and charisma, and someone we absolutely love to have on board in Florian Marku. But this guy next to me here, Chris Jenkins, is a serious fighter, former British and Commonwealth champion, trained by Gary Lockett, who we've got so much time and respect for. He was brilliant down in Cardiff a few weeks ago, and Julius Ndongo found out that night that Chris Jenkins has got plenty left. Chris and Florian, well done again for taking this fight. It's a fantastic one. Chris, it's come to you first. Do you believe that you've just got too much experience and know-how and ability to deal with Florian Marku and maybe show him what this level's all about?
Yeah, personally, the experience might tell in fight night. Don't get me wrong, I rate Florian Marku was a good fighter, but I just think that I'm a little bit too more experienced in this boxing game. But it's just going to be a great fight, and like you said, we just want to fight, so there was no questioning whether the fight was going to happen or not. As soon as you rang Gary, as you rang Marku, yep, it's on, so we'll just fight them out.
It's great to hear that, Chris, because I know you've had your difficulties, you've had a lot of bad luck through your career as well, but you have won those domestic titles, and there's still hunger burning inside you. I think we saw that in Cardiff.
Yeah, obviously in Cardiff, it was nice to get back out. I beat the former unified world champion, but he was way past it, and let's be honest, Florian's going to be a tougher opponent, but the fight is burning. I've got a great team around me, great support network and stuff, so it just keeps me focused, and I just want to keep fighting. I know I'm a bit of the old dog now. I'm going on 33, been nearly 10 years in the pro game, but there's still life left.
The old dog can teach tricks, can't he?
Well, the old dog, I don't know, just fetch.
Florian Marku's going to have half of Albania based over here, I'm sure, there in Newcastle. Are you worried about that, the big support he has, the big reputation he brings with him, or is it just a case of it's a fight and you're going to go in there and do what you have to do?
That is it. This plain and simple, he could have 1 million fans there. I'll probably have my usual 5 or 6, but then they'll turn up and they'll be happy, they'll be loud enough. But at the end of the day, it's like I've said in a number of interviews, myself and Florian are fighting to better ourselves, to better our family, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So, the best one will win on the night.
How good do you think he is, and how do you beat him?
Simple, punch him more times he punches me, and he is good, yeah. So, that is simple, he's a good fighter, there's no disrespect, there's no malice in it. the end of the day, this is what we do to provide, and you know, we want to move on to bigger and better. You know, I know where I am in my career, and just got to do what I got to do to get the win.
Great attitude, keep it nice and simple. Florian Marku, you step up, there's a smile on your face. There normally is. Chris Jenkins, the opponent on Saturday night, without question, the toughest test to date, isn't it?
Yes. First of all, thanks, Ben, for having me, and thank you. I'm ready, you know. I respect Chris like a fighter. He gives very good fights. Many people, I think, avoid him. The son of Nigel Benn avoid him, you know, when he had the British title. I think many people, but his last fight was with Julius Indongo, the Julius Indongo. Yes, thank you. The Julius Indongo, I think he was his best years gone, you know, and I am a different fighter. I'm gonna show that in the Saturday. I'm really happy because this is the fight that excites me, you know. This is the fight that will show to the people what is my level, because I think when I fight with someone like my last fight, you know, it will also look bad, you know, but with someone like him, I will bring my best self outside, and so my best self outside, and of course I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna win with exciting fashion.
Is that your phone going for the fans trying to get tickets? How many have you got coming?
I don't know, but for sure there will be minimum 1,000 in there.
Minimum 1,000. That's what we love Florian Marku, Ben, don't we? He's something different, and he's bringing that to the table. But this is his toughest fight. It's a hard man he's got to get past in, Chris Jenkins. Well done for making it.
Yeah, Florian has everything. I remember when he first boxed on our shows, it was about a couple of years ago, and just the fans and his charisma and everything just shone through. It performed in an incredible way, and the question was, can he really fight? That was all. You know, he's had a great kickboxing career, and he's had to learn boxing sort of on the job, and his development has actually been incredible given that. Now he's with Grant Smith. Now he's in a proper camp. He's with proper fighters. I think he's got all the skills to get to the top, but he needed some fine tuning. I think he'll admit that. And now with Grant, I think there's nothing that can stop him. And he's taken a fight here that many people would. And Chris Jenkins has not only done British level, but been unlucky to get even further. And I think Chris is probably underplaying this, but it's a big fight for him. And I'm just really glad Florian's got the chance to show how good he is.
I'm glad he mentioned Grant. We talked about Gary Lockett, who was a great fighter and a fantastic trainer. Grant Smith's really developing a reputation and a stable. Of course, his son is a super fighter, but he's got a really good group that's enticed you to go there, Florian. How's that been, the change, and how are you developing underneath it?
Listen, the heart, I have the heart from when I was young. I can fight wherever you put me in, but something was missing, you know, and every time in the fight, my self-belief, I believe myself like no one else, but when I was in there, I was trying too much for the knockout. I rush into much things. I'm thinking now with Grant, I found myself, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Boxing is my life, you know, people laugh with that, but I don't do nothing else. I train all day, sitting home, train. This is what I love. People laugh sometimes, say, oh, he's confident. Of course, I will be confident. This is my life. Of course, I think I'm gonna knock this guy out because this is what I love. This is my life. You know, people can't understand that, but when you dedicate all your life, the people go parties, coffee, and the things, and you dedicate your life in the sport. Of course, you will be confident. And Saturday, I'm gonna show one more time how much I believe in myself and how good I am. And with Chris, I think he will bring out the best of me.
You have passion, so do the people up here in Newcastle. I bet you're very excited to be fighting here on Saturday.
Yes, I'm really happy. You know, wherever I have fought in UK, you know, the UK fans love fighting and they have supported. I'm really happy. You know, here my life changed in UK. I'm happy. I will perform for them. They will see Saturday night.
You've been very respectful to Chris Jenkins. That hasn't always been the case with your opponents, but what's the message to him ahead of Saturday?
I have never been disrespectful to no one. Chris was respectful for me. He respects me. He says he's a good fighter. I don't have to say something bad about him. The last opponents that I fought, they say, oh, Florian is a kickboxer, is that, is this, and I show them I'm not a kickboxer. I can fight wherever you put me in. And Chris shows some respect. The respect is this Saturday morning. After Saturday evening is no more respect about him, but till then is the respect there.
Final one from you, Ben, on this situation. The welterweights is fantastic. Chris Congo came back last week in Wembley. He'll be up here at ringside, and it's just a great division. They mentioned the son of Nigel as well. There's some great fights, and of course we had Carl Brook in February too.
Yeah, I just wish they'd all fight each other, and I think the thing with Florian Marku is he will be fighting them. This is a big test for him, but there's some huge fights out there for him after this. But as you say, at 147, whether it's Chris Congo, Samuel Lampley, Josh Kelly, Conor Benn, Eko Usman, the list goes on and on and on, and they need to fight each other. And Florian wants to prove that he's the best. As you say, Kell Brook, Amir Khan showed how big this division can be, and showed how big, you know, boxing can take, you know, how big the welterweight division is, and Florian wants to take that mantelpiece, and this is the next fight on that journey.
I tell you what, it's pretty big at the moment, and that's the middleweight division for the ladies. So Savannah Marshall, the WBO champion in the form of her life, and Clarissa Shields, who we saw in Cardiff with all the other belts, and the well, she brought some magnetism, didn't she, and a little bit of debate afterwards as well. She'll be back Saturday night watching this, but what happens in the ring is all important, and Femke Hermans comes as a former world champion, the current European middleweight champion. You've waited, Femke, a long time for this fight. This was meant to happen this time last year. We had the pandemic, we had COVID test, then it was going to happen in March. Finally, April the 2nd, you get your chance. Can you disrupt this whole story of Savannah and Clarissa? I know you've shared a ring with Clarissa, and be the first professional to beat Savannah Marshall.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to do everything for it on Saturday. For me, it's a big chance to come back at the highest level after some difficult years. So yeah, I'm going to give everything on Saturday, and I want to take that belt back home so I can be WBO champion in 2 different weight classes.
Yeah, we've worked a lot with Delphine Besson from Belgium as well, obviously, who gave Katie Taylor a torrid time over 20 rounds as well. What are you going to bring on Saturday that you think Savannah will struggle with?
I'm going to, yeah, you will see it on Saturday. I'm not going to talk about the game plan or something like that, but I am in a very good shape. I have a good training camp. I'm very pleased about my new team. Everything has fallen together the last months, so I'm ready to kick some ass on Saturday.
To kick some ass on Saturday. And presumably you've been studying Savannah Marshall for a long, long time now, so you've got that game plan, which you won't reveal, is well and truly nailed.
Yeah, Savannah has a big career on amateurs, so and also in pro fights. She fought some fighters, but I think I will be the first one with a result, a career that I had already. It will be, I think, the biggest fight for her until now. So she will have to prove something on Saturday.
You will have to prove something against Savannah. It is arguably your biggest professional test to date against Femke, and as we know in boxing, all great plans can go out the window when slip-ups happen. So how focused are you? You've known about fighting Femke for a long time. Finally, it happens in your beloved Northeast on Saturday night. I bet you can't wait.
No, I really can't wait. This fight's been nearly a full year at the day in the making. We were meant to box last year. It fell through on fight week. So we've both done 2 full camps studying each other. So I know I'm very familiar with Femke, and I'm sure she is with me. But she is definitely the toughest fight of my career to date. She's a former world champion. She's only ever been beaten off world champions. So I'm expecting a tough night on Saturday from Femke.
It was very exciting against Lolita Mazea back in October. Ben was saying earlier that was the night that he felt you sort of became a star, and you got up on that ring apron and the crowd and everything. It was a breakthrough night, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. The reception I received was unbelievable, and it all added to the result. Obviously, Lolita come storming out first round and really stuck it on me, and I think she gave a little bit too much, and that aided the KO in the second round. But it was an unbelievable night for me, especially going from having a little tiny photo on the poster to having a half my face being on now, so I've definitely come on leaps and bounds, and it's all due to the platform Sky and BOXXER have given me.
It was a thrilling night, but we had a pretty good one down in Cardiff. The silent assassin wasn't so silent afterwards with Clarissa Shields. So that is a mouth-watering match really to get excited about. And you must know with Clarissa there on Saturday night, you want to show something again, don't you, to her?
It is what it is. She knows what I can do, and I'm not out to impress her. I think my boxing speaks for itself. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, how can you focus on Femke when everyone's talking about Clarissa?" But the thing is, everyone's been talking about Clarissa for the past 4 or 5 years. She's always been creeping about in the background for me, so this is nothing new. I'm quite tunnel visioned when it comes to who's in front of me, and I know that I can't overlook Femke and obviously the skills she got and what she brings. So obviously get Femke out of the way, and then there's nothing in the way of setting up a massive fight between me and Clarissa.
And she might be creeping in those red slippers again on Saturday night, Clarissa Shields. She certainly took Cardiff by storm. It'll be fantastic to have her back, won't it? Such a wonderful fighter, and if that fight happens, it will be one of the biggest of all time, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think it shows where women's boxing is at in the UK. I think, look, Clarissa's always been a superstar in world boxing, and I think she's been surprised to watch Savannah's ascendancy over the past 6-12 months. She's always known that she's an elite athlete, but now she's a superstar in her own right, and that's what makes this such a big fight. Savannah brings in a big crowd. She's headlining shows on Sky. It shows what this platform can do for you if you have that talent, and if you want to put yourself out there, and if you want to take the right fights. And she's got another tough one on Saturday, but as you say, it's all building up to something that could be really truly special in women's boxing. It's the UK versus the US. It's one personality versus a completely different personality. It's a big puncher against a very, very sort of good amateur style in Clarissa Shields, and it's going to make for a massive fight. But Savannah cannot overlook this one, because it is the toughest fight to date, and the dreams of not just Savannah but ourselves to put on such a big women's fight would be shattered if she can't get through on Saturday night.
Savannah Femke talks about a new team that's got her ready for Saturday night. You've now had, I think, some 4 years or so with Peter Fury, and the difference I think he's made to your life, not just your career, has been monumental, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of reporters here that have said, a couple of years ago I couldn't get 2 words out here. But yeah, definitely, Peter's definitely rubbed off on me, and his confidence, and sometimes I look back on interviews and I see little things Peter would say. So he's definitely made me the fighter I am today.
Do you think that with him you deal with Femke Hermans and then you deal with Clarissa Shields, and that this will be the biggest year of your boxing life?
The shape Peter gets me in, and the game plan and the tactics, I've got that much trust in Peter that he's never done me wrong so far. Everything he's said to me, it's always come true. So I believe, the tactics and the shape, like I said, the shape Peter gets me in, I believe that there's no one on this planet that can beat me. So
finally, what's going to happen when you meet Femke Hermans on Saturday night, defending your world title, a title she wants to win to add to her super middleweight belt? What's going to happen, Savannah, for the Newcastle fans?
Obviously, I've got Femke on Saturday night. I know she's going to bring a tough fight for me, but I know I will be victorious. Get her out the way, and then, like I said, there's nothing stopping me and Clarissa in the summer.
Tell you what, she speaks with confidence these days, doesn't she? Savannah Marshall, the silent assassin, not quite as silent anymore, defending her WBO middleweight title against this terrific Femke Hermans. A wonderful bill in Newcastle, Ben, and I are delighted to be back, BOXXER and Sky, together for another fantastic show.